Hello everyone and welcome to today's edition of me talking to a camera. So I hope you guys had a good week and had pleasant people around you. The weekend has already begun. In fact, it's nearly already over. Yet though, we are still missing out for Michi's Esports Diaries. So here we are today with four kind of updating topics and interesting topics. So first, we're going to talk about the Le Mans Virtual Series, which has happened yesterday with the Sebring 500. Then we have a quick recap of the drama of the Sim Formula Europe 2022 competition. Beyond that, you guys get a little bit of an update why we had a little bit of a slow week with streaming and everything, as there is issues with moving houses. And last but not least, I have a announcement for you guys with good news. So you've seen stuff is happening here at Michi Simracing. That to be at the end of this episode. Anyway, let's get going with the first topic, the Le Mans Virtual Series. It hasn't been the best race, the best drive of me personally. We qualified in P8 on Saturday, which was a okay-ish lap, you know, a lap I'm not particularly happy about, but a lap I can sleep well with, a lap that has been at least okay and pace-wise in the area where I've expected myself being able to be. That said though, the gap to the P1 with 0.3 of a second has been a bit much though. Arguably, with the NHS qualifying into P5 and not being very tight on the pole position time anyway, it got us a little bit of a hint what is about to happen for the day after with the race, and yeah, eventually it just turned out to be the case. So starting P8 was a difficult one. Then we had a 3 wide situation into turn 1. I got pushed off the rubber a bit, lost another position. Like also the green flag for me dropped in a very inconvenient spot. Like I had to lift off and get a little bit of the brake on the brakes as the car ahead was slowing down again. And yeah, then I just nailed it again. But someone else from P9 already had a run at that point. And that position was gone immediately. Then I felt like, okay, P9 is not the end of the world. And then we got into that traffic jam, braking for the hairpin of turn 6 of the first lap. And Mohammed Patel got alongside into turn 10, then got the move done. Was a good move around the outside. And I actually shat my pants a little bit too much. And, well, got stuck into P10. And I felt being, you know, he was having a bit of a struggle with the FPS, he told me after the race. And he was missing apexes 2, 3, 4 times in a row. And I was like, okay, you need to get that move done early. And I went for a move in the 5th or 6th lap, actually slided and spun, happily not getting into the wall, but I lost another 3 positions or so. Then we were 13th, and from that on, the race was fucked at this stage already, and we decided actually to go for an alternate strategy. Then in the second stint got a bit held up there, and yeah, the second stint was the make or break. We have had to get into clean air, and we couldn't quite do that. And from then on, the race was kind of doomed. We haven't had the pace overall though, gotta say. We were struggling. Bent was quick in the car, very, very good. Our pro driver really performing at the very top level. David was good in the car. I have been medi-core, I've been good in the third stint on the used tyres, keeping Michael Smidl from Team Redline behind for 3rd position. But that's about it really. Personally, I think we have not done a very good job on the setup. We have been underprepared, I want to say. It was a reason why I had not so much streaming going on, but this entire week has just been crazy. And I did a couple of long runs and double stints, but you know, even on Friday evening I was like, shit, I am scared to freaking lose the car. into sunset, and I wasn't particularly happy with the car balance after all. It felt fine in the beginning, and I spun a couple of times in the beginning of the testing, and I was like, yeah, it's, you know, I think it's going to be all right. It's just getting along with the setup nicely. In hindsight, it was more like the setup after all was an issue for me personally, but you know, I can't come around Friday and mourn about it, so I just tried to deal with it. But you know, if you're racing in that high-end grid, like the 20 top teams or the 20 LMP2 teams around with top drivers, whether that's pro driver, whether that's sim driver, there is no room for feeling uncomfortable and therefore not pushing the car enough. Like, even if you do fuel saving or if you being conservative on the strat, you need to be on the top of the braking zone, on the top of the game of the car at all times in order to be really quick. And with the setup we had, I don't know, I think I couldn't do it. It didn't feel obvious that something was wrong. But I mean, also looking at the quali laps, doing the analysis, and then, you know, you feel you're down on pace, you know, it's difficult to overtake. So you sitting there, we had 3 strategy plans for the race coming up. Obviously plan A, what everyone would do, and then plan B, something different, and plan C, something extremely different. We went with plan B in the end, and well, arguably it paid off in the sense of that we came back from P13 into P9, but effectively it did not pay off after all. Like, still we were losing time and performance all around, and obviously doing that alternate strategy, we didn't quite get the advantage out of it. And which had to do with being held up a bit in the second stint. But anyway, it is what it is. We're now going to Le Mans on the 15th and 16th of January. It will not be on site as far as I understand it, due to the corona shenanigans still going on. And well, what shall I say, the number 4 has taken the lead in the championship by a single split half point. We dropped in the championship to P7, I think. The good news is 8 points to the car behind, and with double points being awarded, or a wide range of points being awarded for the Le Mans 24, still possibilities for us to also climb up even to top P3 or P4 if stuff goes very wrong at the front. At the same time, we could still obviously drop out of the top 10, but effectively I expect we are quite okay in the area where we sit, and yeah, it is all right. I would want to be P5 in the end at the very least, so we can easily do that in Le Mans, and well, we are going to see how that goes in the end. But yeah, with the race happening yesterday, you hear it, you feel it a bit, not 100% happy, but it is what it is. We're just going to take it and keep fighting. Anyway, something else that was going on this week was the Sim Formula Europe 2022 quarterfinals, and I have been so damn lucky actually to just make it through. Preparation was a big 0. Reasoning for that is we come back on that topic later, but what I could do was, during my Traction GG stream on the Tuesday, I could do a single hour of practice in the mighty McLaren Senna GTR. Then the team obviously did loads of practice on Thursday morning, which obviously due to work I cannot attend. And then I was extremely lucky to get into the third split because of actually 2 reasons. The first of them being that race was 9 PM Central European time, which gave me just that extra hour of margin after 8 PM. And the second reason for it is so many people dropped out or didn't appear that this split was only 13 instead of 20 people driving. And that really sums it up. And it has been a freaking race. Like, I was on a split with, I think, Chinchik. He got pole with a 130.2 or 130.0. And the best I could even manage was a 30.8. Like, you're sitting there and you're questioning yourself. You're questioning yourself so hard. And then you look at the race, and I mean, my lap times were going up and down, but Chinchik, he was doing 10 times a 31.4 in a car around the track that has been considerably hard to be even closely to consistent. What a performance. Hats off. Obviously easily qualified into the semi-finals. And well, for me, the shenanigans really went in when, and I was so stupid, like between stupid, but it was like so natural what I did. So I was coming into the final turn. Kuba Brzezinski was side by side with Daniel Wisner, fighting for P3? I think P3, yeah. And I was in P5 and behind, and I saw Wisner having screen freezes and therefore teleporting the car backwards. And I went out of Parabolica, and there is going to be a short at some point on my YouTube channels. Don't hesitate to watch that. But I was going into Parabolica and I was coming out and I was just saying, oh dear, like Wisner's having some screen freezes, it's not entirely safe to pull in behind the slipstream. And I just ended the sentence. He had another slipstream, his car teleported into me, and I was dead. Simply dead. The car into the wall, happily no rear wing gone, but suspension broke, the rear stabilizer broke. The car was horrendous to drive, and I managed to get 2 track cuts afterwards because I was going through Ascari and I was going right, car understeer, and I just really putting the steering wheel straight and a bit to the left, and the car swung around in the back on the softer suspension. It had no resistance whatsoever, just swung around, making me to cut the inside of the final exit of Ascari twice. And I was like, okay, I need to go around that high-speed corner in the pit limiter now to be safe. And you know, the thing is, 10 people goes through or went through to the semi-finals. Suddenly I found myself from running in 5th, easily on pace, easily in the front, down in 11th. And this is the point where the 13 people split comes in a split with 20 people. I would have been 18th, 17th, maybe 16th, but surely not 11th. And I was extremely lucky, like so damn lucky. I was just keep going, and this is like, you know, this is where my mentality comes in, and I always find the reason to do so. Sometimes not, but literally majority of times I feel reason to just continue, not just park the car. So no matter how pointless or how painful a situation seems to be, you do just not park the car, because there is always possibility for you to gain from whatever happens. And exactly that happened. Like my car was 3 or 4 seconds off the pace, but at the front, I don't know, someone did a pit stop or whether it was a drive-through penalty. Someone just went into the pits. I got 10th. Car behind came out again, 17 seconds to go, with 6 or 5 laps to go. And I limped the car home with a margin of 2 to 3 seconds to him into a 14-lap finish. And I got 10th, and I took the last spot to go through to the semi-finals, now coming up on Tuesday. It's incredible, isn't it? And yeah, you guys will already find the stream scheduled for Tuesday. So that is what will be going on. And beyond that, it is, yeah, I was so goddamn lucky to just make it through. And yeah, now we're gonna see the semi-finals, 30 people around Spa-Francorchamps in the same car, 7 will make it to the finals. I have not much hope, but I will do the race regardless and see what happens afterwards. So, an update to as in why this week has been so incredibly low down with streaming. Monday we were doing testing for the LMVS series. Tuesday I was doing testing for LMVS and the Sim Formula Europe. But not only that, on Tuesday I had 3 persons coming in here to check out this room because as you may have heard, I'm moving houses. So now is the time where people actually gonna start looking at the flat, whether they pick it up from my vendor in the future as soon as I got out. So that happened on Tuesday. Then Wednesday my company had its annual Christmas celebration stuff going on, so that was another day out of the office. Thursday, same story as on Tuesday. I had to leave work early in order to even make the mandatory laps for the Le Mans Virtual Series on the server to be eligible to race. Beyond that, we had another 2 person coming to have a look at this flat, and we had this test race going on. We had final preparations for LMVS going on. Friday was the qualifying, yesterday was the race. Well, Friday and yesterday obviously had some streaming stuff going on, but that is how the week just went on, and beyond that I didn't feel too much in mood of streaming because currently we're running behind schedule with the moving houses thing. So last week I called my ISP to get the internet connection already scheduled for change. And right now I'm sorting other contracts and other stuff, so that's happening as well. And yeah, on the other side where we are going to move in, my girlfriend and me, there is currently some work still going on, which happened last Saturday as well during heavy rain and wind. So there is an awful lot of stuff going on. And yeah, right now we're just behind schedule as the supplier with some materials is not coming along. We were still missing some boards, we're still missing some furniture that is already ordered and should have arrived already, but it's not coming. So you're being on the phone, you're trying to manage stuff, you're trying to manage life. Asides that, and well. From that point onwards, we're just in that managing phase right now. So that's why stuff has slowed down a bit. On the other hand, though, now this was the final season race, the final competitive race. Well, what am I saying? Like, I still got the Sim Formula Europe semi-finals. Anyway, on that note, though, with this being the final race of the season, on the social media pages, and you make sure you check them out, whether that is Twitter, whether that's Facebook, whether that's Instagram. We're now starting a little series of recapping this amazing 2021 year, and I'm pretty sure that the Sylvester edition on the 31st of December will be a recap on this year, which has been an amazing year, has been a successful year. We're gonna have a little bit of a recap with that, pointing out some highlights, pointing out some serious statistics, and pointing out some statistics as such. So I'm planning of trying to find a little bit of a sheet for next year to actually, note down as what is the time you spend in the sim, what is the time of laps you do, how much work and effort you're going to put into the sporting success and stuff. So I'm not 100% sure whether I can provide that to myself and to you then in the end, as it would require, self-managing to a certain extent. And we will see, but I hope I can get some statistics and get some recording up for that for next year. And yeah, so watch out on the social media pages. We are having a look, we are rewinding the year 2021 with some highlights, with some posts, with some additional information, just some things I want to point out again, some thank yous I want to throw out to all the supporters and all the fans, all the subscribers and followers, and to Papa Kuhn Molds, who is helping out with graphics since the beginning of the year in an amazing way. So already a big shout out to Papa Kuhn, to Mr. Lexar for amazing graphic work this year. You've put our thumbnails really to the next level, and also the in-game liveries, the personal liveries I run at times. You've done a very, very good job with that, and I'm really, really grateful for you to assist me on that road. So big shout out to Papa Kuhn, and yeah, make sure you check out these posts. Make sure you go down in the description area below to find out about the links, the social media pages. Make sure you follow up on them, and stay tuned for the latest news, the latest updates, and obviously the rewind and the highlights of 2021. Right, the final thing for this year is on this little sheet. That is an offer I have also accepted and ordered from, which is offer for a new gaming machine. So I have invested some good money, or I'm about to invest. I still need to pay the invoice, but I'm going to get a new machine as we are upgrading to a dual stream or dual PC stream system, and therefore we're getting a new high performance powertrain, I want to call it. We're gonna get a new PC, and the current PC is just moving over, it's becoming the streaming machine. I'm still looking for good cameras, looking at the Sony Alpha 6100. If you guys got other suggestions though, as in for a good high-end camera to put up for delivering the stream picture behind our rig, like basically what the Logitech 4K Brio is doing now, I want to replace that camera with something solid. If you got some suggestions for that, also maybe some hints and tips for dual PC streaming, if you have an idea, please put them down in the comment area below. Happy to hear some feedback of you. And of course, I'm pretty sure you guys are interested on the ingredients of the machine. So we quickly go through it. It's going to be an Intel based PC, and I am getting an Intel Core i9 12900KF, so the Alder Lake 12th gen CPU generation with 16 cores, 3.9 gigahertz in the in the standard mode. We're gonna get a silent loop, water cooling from Be Quiet. Sadly, it is RGB lighted. Like I don't need this, but okay. I think there is not a single water cooling right now that's not RGB lighted, isn't it? We will get an Corsair Vengeance 32 GB DDR5 at 4800 megahertz, going to be 2 times 16 GB chip, so that's going to be amazing. Motherboard's gonna be an Asus Republic of Gamers Strix Z690F Gaming, obviously with a 1700 socket ATX, and on top of that we're gonna get an Asus Republic of Gamers Strix GeForce RTX 3080 V2 with a 10 GB GDDR6X. Last time I've built an own PC, this was still DDR3, I believe, so yeah, it's evolving so fast. For the storage, we're looking to get a 1 TB M.2 PCI Express SSD that is sitting right on the main board. The second SSD for gaming is going to be a Samsung 870 QVO, so 1000 GB SSD SATA 600 storage disk. Yeah, that's what it is. And last but not least, you know, for all the data, so pictures, well, not pictures, not on that rig, but telemetry data, content, all that stuff, we're gonna put in you know, standard Western Digital 4 TB HDD in. On the power supply, we're gonna go with 850 watts. Be Quiet We're gonna get a 7.1 surround sound card that is going to be in the new rig, and I'm gonna get an additional one for the old machine, and obviously some Windows 10 Pro. Yeah, I'm going for Windows 10 because I'm not ready for the shenanigans with the Windows 11. And yeah, that's about it. That is about the machine, and it's going to be obviously quite expensive. The price is very, very good though, so everyone, you may want to check out if you want to have a new PC. I think it's going to be delivery in the DEA, like, you know, Germany, Switzerland and Austria area, but I've still want to put out the their webpage, which is www.kiebel.de. Gonna find it in the top right corner right here as well. You can go there, you know, and like just on a tool case. You want to have this case, you want to have that board, you want to get that CPU, you want that graphics card. You just put it all together, get nice prices, and get a very good product and a very good machine in the end. A disclaimer already, during their current Christmas phase and their current Christmas sellout, they have already quite a lot of orders, which means that delivery times are a bit higher than usual, but it's still worth it in the end. So yeah, that is going to get to be the machine that we're about to get. And yeah, that also takes us to the end for Michi's Esport Diaries for this week. Hope you've enjoyed it, guys. Again, make sure you follow the social media pages for the 2021 year rewind. And also, yeah, if you have any questions, if you have any comments about anything, if you disagree with me or whether you agree with me, put it down in the comment area below. I'm gonna look at the comments, happily have an answer for you. And other than that, I wish you guys a good start into the final week before Christmas. Hope you get all the Christmas presents ready for your family and loved ones. And other than that, hope you have a pleasant time, pleasant people around you, and see you the next time. Goodbye.